development. The Central Bank of Nigeria has proposed that banks should transfer funds in accounts that have been dormant for up to 10 years into a trust fund account. This is contained in the recently released exposure draft of guidelines on the management of dormant accounts, unclaimed balances and other financial assets in banks and other financial institutions in Nigeria. A circular accompanying the exposure draft stated that the guideline was in response to requests from banks and other stakeholders for the CBN to clarify the procedures for the management of the dormant and inactive account by banks in the country. Now, the Apex Bank said the balances will be invested in government securities like treasury bills and will be returned to the beneficiaries not later than 10 days of notice. Now, gentlemen, let's talk about this. What does this mean? Because this the CBN said it was the intention is to transfer these, put this unclaimed dividends or claim balances rather, and then invest in securities and treasury bills. Talk to us. What does this mean? Let me start with you, Mr. Kofi.
Well, to me, CBN keep on coming with this kind of policy that technically squeeze the liquidity available in the bank. They first insist that for every deposit, they must give out 65% of it as a loan, otherwise they pay penalty. Now, this dormant account, especially the big banks that have been in existence for over 40, 50 years, they have a lot of billions in this dormant account. Now, squeezing this dormant account into trust account with the CBN is another compounding the situation of liquidity with the banks. Unsigned.
Okay. Let me hear from...
yes.
Okay. So I wanted to ask, maybe I should ask, Oladipo. So, I mean, it said that this dormant account, their owners may still come forward to claim these, funds. And the CBN will have to make arrangement to return the money to them. So how true is this? Hello, Mr. Oladipo.
Hello. Yeah, for me, I think the policy, just like what Mr. Kupi has said, is another contractionary policy from the Apex Bank to actually stifle the economy of liquidity. And if you look at it, although it was mentioned that it only affects account that has been dormant for the past 10 years. So what that simply means that if an account has been inactive for the last 10 years, it's as good that
all there. I guess yeah, that's internet disruption there. But maybe I should go to Mr. Agoto-Ashe. So are there expectations of the CBN to make any changes to its policies regarding dormant account and unclaimed balances in the future? Because, I mean, there are billions, like Kasimo talked about earlier, there are billions tucked up in banks for years, and they are just there. So can we begin to make, changes to this policy, maybe now or later? Oguntuashe, I'm not sure if
he did not. He need to unmute his line. He did not unmute his line.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Talk to us about that.
Well, for me, I just believe that before CBN come up with this policy, I want to believe that they have enough information about the balances of all these people that we are talking about. And fine, it is a way of, to them, they might believe that it's a way of controlling bank, but I don't see it as a good move at this time, because we all know what they are technically dragging into. We all know that even the government is, looking for all the avenues to get money. Okay. Even though government securities, treasury bill is secure, we all know that. But I believe that before this guideline come into being, the bank themselves has a way of managing all these balances, trading with it without any issues. So I wonder why CBN is coming with this type of policies at this time.
Okay, Mr. Kofi, would you like to say something about it before I come to Ambrose in the city?
Yes, I would like to say something. You see, I don't want the situation that we experience in the capital market, we experience in the banking. In the capital market, SEC mop all these listed company fund running into billion and warehouse it into CBN. Now the individual are claiming for their money and they find it very difficult to withdraw the money because the process is not there. The CBN, before retrieving this money, should put on the ground the process that people can retrieve their money back. Because I can tell you that some individuals have dormant account not because they are dead, but they choose not to look at those accounts. And if now they decided to look into those accounts, you go to the bank, they say they ask for CBN, and CBN say that they have yet to come with a process of withdrawing that money. That will be a problem for the system. So let's have the exit policy that anybody can retrieve his money back. Easily.
Ambrose, let's have your take.
Actually, for me, I may differ a little from my colleagues.
You're free to differ, and that's why it is called Analyst Hangout. So we have different analysts here with different opinions. So that's the cross of the show.
The presentation of Alaji for me is a good one, but don't forget that this fund have been in use of this bank. It's part of what they are declaring as their profit, and also used to trade the treasury bill. But now also don't forget that in capital market, unclaimed dividends also have been put in another vehicle again for them to utilize those unclaimed dividends until the owners will ask for it. As I just mentioned, the good thing is that they want to put this money into action and see what's going to be for the government, because government is on the tight corner looking for liquidity. That means if all these funds that are lying fallow, that all these companies are eating fat on this money are coming back to government, and at the same time when you ask for it, I like what Alaji said, that let's have a process. If you need your money, they give it back to you. Is it on interest? Because I know that other banks, they are not paying interest. Even the registrars, I know this money is falling before now. But now that government is going to use it to generate more money, and if I need money, they're going to pay me on interest. This is something that we should make clear at this point, even the central bank, because all these funds, the banks have feed on them before now.
But the fact is that
for that, if banks want to take it to CBN now, people want to use to kind of trade their treasury bill. At the end of the day, what is coming back to what the owners of this money? That is what we should think.
But the owners have not been identified. That's the question.
No, if you are taking my money, the day I need it, you know the owner.
Okay.
Am I going to take it at the same platform where on interest of treasury bill? Now, treasury have moved to about 14.7. For me, if I are going to pay me, I pay me on interest, because the bank have been for a long time, they're not going to pay on interest, especially if it's a savings account or a current account. But if I'm going to book my money away from the bank and take it to treasury bill, what is accruing to me at the end of the day? These are the things I want to make clear. I like what I said. Let's have a procedure, the process before they move the money out of the bank. I'm not against it at all.
Let me go to Oladipo virtually now. Do you think there are potential drawbacks or risk associated with the CBN's plans to invest these unclaimed funds? That's one. I mean, but again, there are concerns that how is the CBN going to use this money judiciously, I mean, to mitigate the risk on them? So I think we should talk about that. Talk to us now, Oladipo.
Yeah, for me, I think I'll still toe the line of Alaji, because sincerely speaking, there's not much process in place around this yet. And the CBN has come out to say they are taking as much as 500 billion to be invested in treasury bills. Like I was saying earlier on, although it makes a lot of sense, the fact that it's just an account that's been dormant in the past 10 years. So it simply means that if your account has been dormant in the past 10 years, there's every likelihood that you may not likely come back. The possibility of coming back for that fund is very slim. The end goal is that money will not be warehoused with the federal government rather than with the CBN, rather than being warehoused. So you also give the government borrow money from these unclaimed fund accounts, which simply means that they may be repaid and they may not be repaid, depending on if the owner of the account actually come forward in the future. So for me, it's more still mixed and still mixed with a lot of unclarity. So I still feel that the government, the CBN needs to come out and clarify what are the process. If at the end of the day the owner of this account shows up, what do they need to do? And also, I also agree with Ambrose on the part of the fact that the banks have been feeding fat and been enjoying the cash, the flows from this account for a long time. maybe the time has come for the government to actually take over and actually take over from where they actually stops. And I also feel that maybe the target of the government could be that some of those funds are funds that were generated maybe from the back door, and they also feel that it's also an opportunity for government to actually take over some of these accounts.